moles in Tehran still lurk in the shadows. Consequently, Israel has issued a stark warning: take the throne, and you die. On February 28, Iran's Supreme Leader Khamenei fell to a joint US-Israeli strike. Dead at 87, following his demise, the fierce battle for succession has consumed the entire nation. In this theocracy, the Supreme Leader holds absolute power, dictating the ultimate fate of the regime. Long before this conflict erupted, the US openly threatened his life. In response, Tehran fiercely fired back, boasting they could replace him in a mere 24 hours. However, reality hit hard when the bombs actually dropped, leaving Iran completely paralyzed. Days after the assassination, the highest seat of power remains startlingly empty. According to Tehran insiders on March 3, the vote is pushed to next week. Reports say a national mourning period will honor Khamenei for 3 days starting March 4. Insiders reveal the critical election might happen right after the funeral. Yet, this scheduling conflict is merely a convenient cover story. Tehran hides a much darker truth that is actively paralyzing the succession process. The real question is whether the next leader can survive Israel's crosshairs. Khamenei's demise was fueled by deep treason, allowing Israel to track his every move with lethal precision. To this day, the mole remains free, meaning a new leader faces the exact same doom. Their fears are entirely justified. On March 4, Israeli Defense Minister Katz ruthlessly declared that any supreme leader opposing the US and Israel becomes a primary target. This is not just a threat, it is a brutal humiliation. Yet, Tehran remains helpless against Israel's flawless intelligence network. According to the Tasnim news agency on March 3, the Assembly of Experts in Qom took a direct Israeli hit. Israel claims top clerics were actively counting leadership votes right inside the bombed compound. This devastating strike validates Katz's bloody promise, forcing a deliberate leadership void. By constantly eliminating top-tier targets, Israel engineers a massive power vacuum, crippling Iran's war machine. Interestingly, while Tehran admits the Qom facility was bombed, they claim strict security kept members completely off-site, and staff evacuated early, preventing mass casualties. If true, this marks a rare tactical evolution. For years, under US-Israeli surveillance, Iran had zero secrets, making high-profile assassinations routine. Since this war began, relentless precision strikes have pushed Iran to the brink, and breaking this intelligence curse would be a massive strategic victory. Even so, Iran's nightmare is far from over. One lucky escape means nothing, because the mole is still inside, likely holding top-level clearance and state secrets. Until the traitor burns, Israel retains the power to execute every single successor. Furthermore, if Iran eventually crowns a surviving leader, they shouldn't celebrate, they should panic. What if the new supreme leader is the mole himself? It is entirely possible. On March 3, President Trump revealed in the Oval Office to reporters that US-Israeli ops had already flipped multiple prime candidates. Unfortunately, most perished in the recent crossfire. He then casually claimed a second batch might also be dead, and a third is queuing up. Under these dire circumstances, how can Tehran guarantee their new leader isn't a compromised American puppet? Ultimately, Iran faces a deadly paradox: crown a loyal patriot, and face instant decapitation strikes, crown a safe survivor. And you might just hand the nation directly to foreign spies. This impossible choice is exactly why the throne remains empty. For now, maintaining the status quo is their best survival tactic. Post-Khamenei, President Pezeshkian, the judiciary chief, and a Guardian Council jurist are jointly steering the nation. This decentralization drastically spreads the risk, flawlessly mirroring Iran's Mosaic Defense tactic against allied forces. Until the smoke clears and the mole is completely eradicated, Iran simply cannot safely crown its next supreme leader.